Little Tiffany confronts a bully at school, Part 2.
Tiffany, do not be afraid to stand up against bullies. Get advice from your parents and teachers. Always have faith in God.
Tonight's bedtime story from the Bible is about Queen Esther. Long ago, during King Ahasuerus' reign, the Persian Empire stretched from India to Africa. In the city of Susa lived a young Jewish girl named Esther. After her parents died, her kind cousin Mordecai raised her. Esther was kind, wise, and beautiful. King Ahasuerus, or King Xerxes I, was the king of the Persian Empire at that time. He held a lavish banquet that lasted 180 days to display his wealth and power to all his officials, nobles, and military leaders. During the final 7-day feast, he wanted to show off his beautiful queen, Queen Vashti, to his guests. However, Queen Vashti refused to obey his orders. King Ahasuerus was so angry that he banished Queen Vashti for her disobedience. The search for a new queen began, and Esther was one of the girls chosen to join. Esther found favor in the eyes of King Ahasuerus. Esther was given special beauty treatments and royal care. After a whole year of preparation, she was finally presented to the king for the final selection. Esther's beauty and graceful mannerisms captured King Ahasuerus' heart, and he chose Esther to be his new queen. Esther kept her identity as a Jew a secret, just as Mordecai had told her. During this time, Mordecai couldn't enter the palace, but he waited patiently outside the gates to get updates about Esther. While sitting at the king's gate, Mordecai overheard 2 of the king's eunuchs plotting to assassinate the king. He then told Queen Esther, and Esther reported to the king in Mordecai's name. The plot was investigated, found to be true, and the 2 officials were executed. The event was recorded in the book of the Chronicles in the king's presence. Instead of Mordecai being honored during this time, a wicked and prideful man named Haman was made one of the king's highest officials, and that everyone else should bow down to him out of respect. Mordecai, on many occasions, would not bow down to Haman, and this made the prideful Haman very, very angry at Mordecai. Haman's anger was so great that he wanted not only Mordecai dead, but all the Jewish people destroyed. He told lies to the king that the Jews are a threat to his kingdom's unity. As the king trusted him, the king gave his royal ring to Haman to let Haman write the law. Haman wrote a law to destroy all the Jews. When the news to destroy all the Jews was announced, people in the capital city of Susa were shocked and confused. Mordecai sent an urgent plea and message to Esther for her help.
Perhaps you became queen for just such a time as this and for this reason.
I can't see the king unless he calls for me. If I go without permission, I could be put to death. I will go to the king, and if I perish, I perish.
This means Esther was willing to risk her life to save her people. Wearing her royal robes, Queen Esther walked bravely into the throne room to meet the king, her heart pounding, waiting for the king's response. He smiled and held out his golden scepter. Esther was safe. Her courage had worked. Queen Esther asked the king for permission to hold 2 banquets for him and Haman. The king agreed. Haman thought he was super important because the queen had invited him personally. At the second banquet, Queen Esther told the king her secret, that she was Jewish. Then she bravely told him about Haman's evil plan to hurt her and her people. The king was very angry. The king left his room and came back to find Haman lunging towards Queen Esther. This further enrages him, as he thought Haman was attacking his queen. Haman was taken away by the guards.
A few moments later.
And that was the end of Haman. Peace and joy returned to the Jewish people in the city of Bikini Bottom. Oopsie, let's rewind back to the city of Susa. God used Esther in his grand plan to keep the Jewish people safe, and peace returned to the land. Esther's courage and faith remind us that God can use anyone to do great things. The next day, inspired by Queen Esther's story, little Tiffany went to school with renewed courage. Just as Tiffany walked down the school corridor, she saw poor Claude crouched on the floor, with her bag and books scattered everywhere.
Claude, what happened? Are you okay?
It was Jennifer. She grabbed my bag and threw everything on the floor.
Jennifer, it's not okay to treat Claude this way. We should be kind, not hurtful. Please stop doing this.
Blee blee blah blah. Whatever. Stop sounding like a grandma. Someone wants to be a hero. Let me take that cutesy ribbon off.
That's enough, Jennifer. I'm going to tell Mrs. Lee about this.
Oh, I am so scared.
A few moments later.
All three of them, Tiffany, Claude, and Jennifer, were called into the principal's office. Tiffany took a deep breath and spoke up. Tiffany explained what happened while Claude nodded nervously.
Tiffany made up all these stories to get people to like her. She's just jealous or something.
That's not true, Mrs. Lee. I have evidence to prove what Jennifer did. Someone recorded the whole incident and sent it to my mobile. Here, let me show you.
As we can see clearly now what happened, you will stay back after class to do a self-reflection. What should you say to Tiffany and Claude, Jennifer?
I am sorry.
I do not wish to see a repeat of such behavior, Jennifer.
Thank you for standing up for me. Because of you, I want to be braver too.
I wonder who sent the video proof to us. Find out who sent the proof in part 3. Bye-bye for now. See you later. Subscribe now to catch part 3 of this video series and find out what happened to Jennifer. Funny bloopers right after this.
Uh-oh, Tiffany's eyes just went wonky.
Claude just pulled off a zombie move with a half-a-head turn.
In Mighty Tim's video, Grandma is hating her veggies instead of me?